Okay, hey everybody, it's Jen. I was originally just going to make this a written post, but sometimes it's hard to spell things out phonetically, so I decided to make a video on how to pronounce Japanese and Chinese snowboarder names. It's something that has bothered me for the past 3 years, and I'm not a perfect speaker of Mandarin or Japanese, but I grew up speaking Mandarin around the house, and I lived in Japan for a year, so I have a basic understanding of the language, and it just pains me to hear announcers butcher names really, really horribly when it's their job to present us with the correct information, and they have access to the writers, so they could always just ask people, how do you say your name? And so I decided to create this guide for both the announcers and everybody else, just so that we know how to give these athletes the proper acknowledgement and respect that they deserve. Especially, it's a little embarrassing to see somebody's first name come up on the leaderboard when all the other riders have their last name featured. Like, you don't want to mix those up. That's, very, very inappropriate and inaccurate. So I'm going to start off with the Japanese half-pipe snowboarders. These guys have been getting a lot of attention, so this is how you say their names. So the first one is Ayumu Hirano. So again, Ayumu Hirano. And next, we're going to go with Kazuhiro Kokubo. So Kazuhiro Kokubo. And the next one, Kohei Kudo. So Kohei Kudo. Next is Ryo Aono. So his last name is A-O-N-O, and you pronounce all the vowels, so it's Ao. And so his name again is Ryo Aono. And then last of the half-pipe snowboarders with Japanese men is Taku Hiraoka. And again, he's got the Ao sound in his last name, so it's Taku Hiraoka. Okay, next in slopestyle, we've got a guy named Yuki Kadono. So Yuki Kadono. And next we have a woman named Miyabi Onizuka. So her last name is contains a TSU, which is a Z sound, and it sounds a little bit like zoo, but it's slightly different. So again, Miyabi Onizuka. And in snowboarder cross, we have a woman named Yuka Fujimori. So Yuka Fujimori. Okay, now on to the Chinese snowboarders, and just want to make it clear that I'm saying first name and then last name. Usually in Asian countries it's last name, first name, but since everybody else's names here are presented first, last, that's what I'm doing, and just so that we can clarify. And also, my intonations aren't perfect. I do speak with an American accent and am a little rusty on my Mandarin since I haven't visited Taiwan in a while. But I mostly want this guide to be a close approximation instead of people like reaching out of nowhere to get kind of close and mixing up the vowels. I just want kind of a general idea of how to say these names without, completely messing them up. So my intonations are probably not perfect. I don't expect the announcers to have perfect intonation because that does take a lot of years of study, but just something that is a lot closer than what I often hear. So to start with the female Chinese half-pipe snowboarders, we're going to go with Shui Tong Cai. So Shui Tong Cai. Tai is her last name, and that is the one that I often see get mixed up as her first name because, in Chinese we would say Cai Shui Tong, but, Tai is her last name, and that should be what is posted on the leaderboard. Next is Zifeng Sun. So Sun is her last name. It's spelled S-U-N, so some people might say Sun. It's kind of close, but the way you really say it is Zifeng Sun. And next is a woman named Suang Li. So if you notice, her first name only has one syllable, whereas everybody's, I guess it's like first and middle name, has 2 syllables, but she only has 1 syllable in her given name, and her last name is also 1 syllable. So her name again is Suang Li. And last is a male Chinese snowboarder who's been getting a lot of attention in halfpipe, Yi Wei Zhang. So again, Yi Wei Zhang. And his last name is Z-H-A-N-G. And so sometimes you hear it pronounced Zhang. Like I've had friends who pronounce it that way. It's like my last name, Wang. You know, it's technically Wang, but we're used to kind of mispronunciations. But Zhang is actually how you say his last name. So I hope this guide helps you get a better idea of how to pronounce Japanese and Chinese snowboarder names, and I'm hoping to hear less inaccurate pronunciations as they get more attention. Really, you know, some of these guys are Olympians, so we really need to just get a better job of pronouncing these names, like we do with a lot of the French and Russian and Norwegian snowboarders, who also have very difficult names, but we've all kind of managed to learn theirs. And so, thanks for watching, and I hope you keep reading my blog posts, and I'll see you around.